All right, guys. I was actually just talking to my homeboy the other day, and he was in a pretty hard situation. He was about to give up, and I was like, bro, everything we've been through, bro, this is fucking nothing, bro. We've been through the mud, bro. Like, keep going, keep pushing. And I wanted to bring it up because a lot of young kids have not really been through, like, a lot. Like, you're 18, from 18 to like 20, 26, you're supposed to just die the whole time and learn. Like, you learn from failure. You're just gonna keep failing, learning. And then you're gonna see your counterparts, your female counterparts having the best time of their life, and you're gonna be like, fuck, this shit sucks. They're having like the best time of their life, and I'm trying to build myself, trying to figure out what I wanna do, you know, for career-wise, trying to figure out like, you know, how I can make it to the gym, how I could afford this, how I could do that, what classes should I take? Like, you're trying to figure life out, and your female counterparts are enjoying their life because it's their prime. So it's really, really hard, right? Like, for example, when I was like working as a nurse, I was picking up as many shifts as possible. I literally did like a 30-hour shift once, right? Multiple times. So for this shift, I would do like one-on-one home health care, right? So I would go to one patient, stay there for about 8 hours, then I had to drive an hour and a half to the next patient and work like an overnight shift. But it was like a unique shift because the parents couldn't take care of the kids because they had to go to work. So they would be sleeping when I got there, right? And then they would wake up, go to work, and then I'd be taking care of those kids for like 20 hours. And that job was like that, those days were so fucking hard. It gave me like a strong ass headache, but I still had to drive home, sleep, and then repeat, right? And that was just a normal day. I had another job. I was working in psych, right? Literally like American Horror Story season 2. If you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. I remember I got there the first day and I was like, okay, it's a lockdown facility. Where's the security? And they're like, you are the security. I was like, why didn't they tell us that in orientation? They're like, people would leave. I was like, what the fuck? So every time there was a situation, which was like every fucking day, I had to, you know, get the Haldol, get the Benadryl, get the Ativan, give them a shot. Like, we literally had to hold them down, physical hold, of course, after we got an order, and then pull down their pants and give them a ventral gluteal shot every time. And it was like, it takes 10 minutes to kick in. So then you got to put them in lockdown. Then you got a time when you put them in lockdown. It was just a lot of crazy shit. And it was just an average day. That was just an average day. Like, I would work out, eat, go to work, come home, sleep, wake up, work out, repeat. And I was just grinding. It was tough, but that was life. You know what I mean? You got to get through it. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is a lot of dudes, young dudes right now, are just like giving up before trying. Like, they're literally just giving up before trying. Like, a lot of times in life, when you attempt things, you either fail, well, not fail, you fail or succeed, right? But in reality, you learn a lot from failure. So you really learn or win. Like, that's all that happens. Because every single failure that I had, I learned a lot of shit from that, and it really did build character. I hate when people say that shit, but now as I get older, I'm realizing like, oh shit, that did build character. I remember doing that. I remember doing this. Like, I remember just grinding, right? I remember working in corrections. I was working in a jail, but at the same time, I was doing like one-on-one training. So I'd wake up at like 3:30 a.m., train one lady at 4, and then from her, drive 30 minutes to train some dude at 5. And then from her, drive 45 minutes to train someone at 8 a.m., take a quick nap, and then go to work 3 to 11 at the jail, or 11 to 7, depending on the day. But work 3 to 11 at the jail, and then work out afterwards and repeat, right? So by the time I get off, I'm pretty much getting 3 hours of sleep. That's why I take a nap like in between. But that was just the grind at the moment. I had to do that to, you know, pay off the nursing school debt, or just to keep the ball rolling. Like, it was a struggle, but a man's life is like pain, guys. It's like struggle. That's what it is. It's an uphill battle, but it builds character. Like, the good thing about the uphill battle is if you keep going up, you're going to be the only one at the top, right? After a while, because trust me, when people go up and they fall down a little bit, they just stay on that hill. They just stay on the lower part of that hill. They don't continue to climb. They don't try to climb again. They just give up. A lot of people just give up. And I've seen that way too much. Before people try, they just give up, not knowing that, like, your early teens and your early 20s don't really fucking mean anything. It's literally just the building years where you have to learn and you have to mature. Like, it's literally experimental years. I used to hate when people say that because I was going through it. I was like, dude, why are you calling my life experimental? I'm trying my hardest. And I was just dying over and over, right? I was just dying over and over. Everything was going wrong. I was like, why can't I get that chick? Why did this chick leave me? Why am I with this chick, but then I'm not with that chick? But then why does this chick like me? Okay, why is this happening at work? Wait, why do I have to go here for work? Wait, why did they, you know, fire me from this job just because the kid liked me more than they liked the... It was crazy. It was crazy. Like, I was taking care of kids. I remember one kid like grew an attachment to me, and then like the parent got jealous, so then they like kicked me off that case. It's just a lot. You literally deal with struggle over and over. But after a while, I guess that's where stoicism comes from. You got to take your emotion out of decisions and just be like, hey, that's what happened. Now I got to focus on what I can control, and that's what you got to do. You got to focus on what you can control. Because listen, if you get fired from one case, what the hell are you gonna do? You know what I had to do? When I got kicked off that case, I had to go to the worst case that no one would touch because I was the only one open. And I was like, you got to do what you got to fucking do. So I worked that horrible case. But I mean, I did it with an optimistic attitude. I was like, I'm gonna get through this. I worked that horrible case. Nobody touched, like nobody. Like every company pulled out of that, like working on that specific case. It was a horrible case. So I worked on that one-on-one nursing case for like, what, 9 months? The only nurse working it, obviously. So I was picking up extra shifts as well. And I was like, listen, the bread is bread, man. I got to get my chicken bag up. So I was working overtime, doing what I can, reading books, trying to figure out a way out of it until another case opened up. You got to do what you got to do, right? You don't just give up. Giving up is the only way you can lose. And I keep seeing that. I keep seeing people give up. Like, one of the best parts of the journey is when you don't give up. And then, like, obviously nothing's going to happen initially. Like, for example, like if you get no chicks at all right now and you don't get haircuts, you don't have a good physique, once you start building up your physique and you start getting haircuts and you start getting your shit together, you notice like chicks looking at you. But I'm not saying you're doing this for chicks. I'm just saying that signifies like your improvement in that area. So it's the same thing for like me working the worst case to me working a better case to me getting a better job over here. Like all of those small steps, it does feel good to be making progress. And I feel like that's in a man's like soul to continue to level up and make progress. Like you don't feel fulfilled until you're making progress. When you're not making progress, it feels horrible. When you're regressing, it feels even worse. And when you're regressing, your first notion is to give up. But that is exactly how you fail and how you feel like shit. So keep pushing through those hard moments because eventually you're going to make progress. And that's what it's about. It's about making progress. No, we don't want to be on a beach making quote unquote passive income because that shit doesn't exist. We just want to continue to improve and make progress in all aspects of our life as much as we can to become our best potential. That's where like confidence comes from. Confidence comes from us becoming better than we were, because now we're like, wow, that was me. That was my reality. Now this is my reality. Like for me personally, I feel like my life was an isekai, right? If you don't know what isekai anime is, it's like being reborn in another world, right? So I swear to God, I don't remember anything from 0 to 19. And then 19 to like 22, kind of remember, but like 21 plus, it was like I was a whole different person. Cause like obviously 0 to 18, I was the lamest kid in my high school, guaranteed. You could ask anybody in my high school. But then, so I got to college, got a little bit soft, but once I like moved in with my brother and we were kind of like bachelors or whatever, it was like I was living the life. It was getting so much attention. I started like growing on social media. So what everyone knew me as changed, because in high school it was like they knew me as a loser. You don't talk to me, but if you need an extra joke and there's nothing to do, you like make a joke about me, and I just absorb it basically, right? But once I got to like 21 plus, people knew me as like the swole dude that had like, you know, the Instagram followers that got all the girls and shit like that. Like their perspective changed on me, and it was crazy because it was like I was living two different lives. Like it felt like I was born in a new world because everything changed. My perspective was way different. That's why I got a rose tatted on me. A white rose, because in Japanese it means, what was I gonna say? It means death. So that's like the death of the old me, right? Because this new me was born, and like it's literally a whole different perspective, whole different life. Like to the point where a lot of chicks that used to like reject me or ignore me, they don't even know I hit them up. Like they started hitting me up later on, and of course I rejected them. You know, sweet vengeance. But like just that's how much I changed over the years. Like I'll show you a picture right here about how much I changed. It's crazy. All right. But yeah, pretty much what I wanted to say. So yeah, guys, keep pushing. Like life is supposed to be hard as hell. That's the problem with social media. They don't fucking tell us that. And then like you're struggling, but that's why I'm happy I have my group of boys and I got my brothers and shit. But I got my group of boys because they'll be like, yeah, it's just hard. They'd be like, oh, okay, you're dying too. Like you're supposed to go through struggle, right? But anyways, guys, if you want to be part of a community, Discord link is in the bio. And yeah, I'm trying to create that community that I had, because like as far as fitness goes, I wouldn't make it as far as I did without my boys. As far as those hard moments, I wouldn't make it as far without my boys either. So yeah.